fiat money, dollar government money, is private if you hold it physically outside of the system, but they still control its value. Programmable money, boy, short term, they can do any darn thing they want to it. You're not spending enough? Okay, we will push those rates negative. You will watch your principal erode and you will go spend it. You will do what we say because we can make it disappear with the push of a button.
To get Lynette back on, because she was warning about inflation before people were warning about inflation, before there was this great divide. Right. How do you see things now?
Well, I do not think that the inflation is transitory. And I think that the Fed is behind the 8 ball, but I also think that they are between a rock and a hard place. I just don't think there's really a whole lot they can do other than print more money and create more inflation.
So if we truly are in a runaway inflation scenario, what do we do here? Do we just sit by and take that information? How does one go about protecting themselves?
Well, number one, you want to own gold, because gold has been proven over hundreds of years, thousands of years, to be a true inflation hedge that cannot be debased. But aside from that, you really need to be in a position to be as independent and self-sufficient as possible. So I have my mantra that I've been executing personally for many years now: food, water, energy security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter. We need to be as secure and independent inside of a community as we possibly can to weather what lies ahead. Because this is far more than just inflation. This is a transition, a resetting of the entire financial, social, and economic system.
So when you say it's far more than inflation, is this a road they're purposely leading us towards?
Yeah, it's frankly a road that started back in 1913. That was the beginning when they first put us on a fiat money or government-based money system and started removing gold's backing. And, this is the end of that great experiment where they thought they were gods and could control the rate and speed of inflation, which is why nobody realizes it, because they have on many levels been successful in getting us to think of gold as an old relic, even though they continue to accumulate, and I think they accumulate roughly 20% of all of the output per year. Why, if it's such an old relic? And the Bank for International Settlements recently, November 2020, so that's not that long ago, came out with a piece on gold's role in their currency reserves because it's real money. And what did they say? One of the things I love that they said in there is that gold held at home runs no political risk. I was floored when I saw that. They admitted it. So yeah, but it is absolutely an inflation hedge.
So let me ask you this, Lynette. When you see statements coming from Janet Yellen, who spoke earlier this week, she was asked about inflation. Said, no, don't worry about the billions of dollars being pumped into the system. And inflation, we're not going to see that runaway inflation that everyone's worried about. What goes off in your head when you hear those statements?
Well, what pops in my head is that she is doing her job, because if she said what she really, really thinks and knows that's going to happen, people would make different choices. And her job is really to keep the markets calm.
How long
that's her
can
job.
Right. How long until people, the general population catches on and markets are no longer calm?
Well, I think that has really already begun. That loss of confidence has been creeping up for a very long time. But now we're at a place where I think the markets are super fragile, and the public is super fragile. It's been this K-shaped recovery has been, I think, really, really interesting, because not everybody is benefiting in this, and most people are not benefiting. And the other piece is watching them try and pull globalization back from the brink when we've already had so many protests and globally, because this is really a global issue anyway. So I don't think that piece is over. I can't tell you how long, but that's why they're throwing money at the masses now, to keep the masses calm. I mean, that's why they're doing it.
Lynette, I was excited to have you on because you were one of the first to write about and speak about central banks' plans to release digital currencies.
Yeah.
And I believe when you were on the last time, the Fed had said they were in no rush to launch a digital currency. They were looking at it, but they said it's one of those things where they didn't care if they were last, but they wanted to do it right. Now they've since changed tune here and have come out saying that it's something they plan to seriously evaluate starting this summer. And Lynette, what have you been saying? 2021, 18-step plan.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I want to know how were you made aware of it before others? And is it already developed, or are they just telling us this now that, oh, we're thinking about it, but how far along are they really?
Well, I don't think we're going to know the end of this month, in my opinion. Okay. We're going to know the end of this month, how fully developed it is when a little piece of Basel III starts to kick into gear, or that's postponed. Okay. So if they're ready for a major market crash, as gold is put in as a tier 1 asset, and it basically annihilates the paper gold market and the paper silver market in London and in the US, that's going to have a reverberating impact. If they let that go through, then they're a lot further along with their digital currency than I think they are. If not, if they postpone it, well, then that tells it, just like they postponed the LIBOR, right? After their test in October. Wasn't very long after that. So the digital currencies are coming. That's programmable money. That's what it is. Programmable money. Gold money is private and it holds its value over time. The public doesn't need trust in it because it has the broadest base of market. Fiat money, dollar government money, is private if you hold it physically outside of the system, but they still control its value. Programmable money, boy, short term, they can do any darn thing they want to it. You're not spending enough? Okay, we will push those rates negative. You will watch your principal erode and you will go spend it. You will do what we say because we can make it disappear with the push of a button. So yeah, it gives them a whole lot more control. I don't like it.
What do you think the public acceptance will be of it? What happens if there's a revolt and we just don't want this? Do we have any say?
Well, we do. We vote with our pocketbooks. So if the public does not use it, that's why they're giving it away in China and any of the tests. How are they testing it? They're giving it to people. Here, go spend this. Now we'll tell you where you can spend it. We'll tell you how long you have to spend it, and we'll tell you what to spend it on. But we're just going to give you this. And that's the way, that's really how I think they're going to formally introduce UBI, Universal Basic Income, because if it's given to you, you are more likely to use it. And they don't want pushback. From me personally, well, if it's UBI, that means even I get some of that garbage. And if I have a choice, what'll I do? I'll either leave it there or I'll convert it into gold and physical gold and silver and take it out of the system, if that's my option. I mean, if I have the option to do